So I'm really annoyed on my truck. About a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or actually a month ago, I destroyed and ripped my antenna straight out of my actual bracket. So I had to go to Toyota and buy some OEM parts. So we're actually gonna have to replace the assembly for what goes in the fender, because the thread that's right here, it snapped the bolt off. I tried to do an extractor, but I just totally demolished it, and I basically have to replace this. This was very expensive from Toyota. Here's the part number if you guys are curious. I paid, let's see what I have here. This is in Texas, so I paid $60.78 and $5 in tax. Then I also bought the OEM because I bought an aftermarket one from Amazon for like 20 bucks, but this tip is different. It's a little short. I think it would work, but I just want to be on the safe side, so I went and bought the OEM one. There's a part number for that. And this one cost me $41.45 plus $3.42 in tax, so I'm pretty close or above $100 now just to replace this. And what basically happened, let me show you. I was detailing my truck back in California, and I had my canopy out, and basically this thing, I was backing up my truck and the canopy caught it and then broke it off, and it broke the stud inside of here. So I'm very fortunate that my buddy works at Toyota and gave me some tips. So I've been texting him back and forth on Instagram, and he told me exactly what to do. And there's a video on YouTube. It's just not shot that great. I'll put the link down below because it was actually very helpful. So the first thing we're gonna do, so we gotta take this off because I don't have a tool for this. We're gonna go ahead and tape this off with painter's tape so we don't scratch my paint. And we're probably gonna damage this nut, but I'm gonna try to salvage it because I don't want to buy it. It's another expense. There's still 2 more pieces, this piece and that nut, which I didn't purchase because that was another $40. So let's go ahead and try to salvage this. Put some painter's tape so just in case I slip, I don't scratch my paint. And the next thing we're gonna do is gonna start removing this nut right here. You need an actual special tool for it, but I don't have it, so we're gonna try to use a flathead and try to be careful. All right, so the way we're gonna try to take it off is we're gonna use a flathead, a mini, and a hammer, and basically gonna hit this little crevice here. Hopefully this works for the best. All right, plan B, that's not working. Plan B. Come off. It's not coming on, just destroying it. So I basically just destroyed it. It's not coming off. It's been on there for who knows, since 2006. Been there for years. So basically we're going to plan C now. We're gonna drill it out, and we're probably gonna have to end up buying that nut and this part and spending some money. So it's gotten out of control real fast. This was supposed to come off first. This is the first part. I tried to drill out the thread and the nut, and it's still pretty stuck. So I'm starting to think this might be aftermarket. It's not OEM from the videos I've seen. So I'm gonna start taking off the inner fender and see what it looks like down there. All right, so we're gonna remove 2 10 mils right here on the lower fender. So it looks like we have 2 clips there. They're probably gonna break. Next we're gonna use our panel remover. See if it doesn't break. All right, this is going really bad. This is a pain in the ass. I don't even want to do this anymore. But to pop off the clips for the inner fenders, I basically had to break them off. I have no idea how you take these off because it's all covered. This is what it looks like. Like that, I snapped the head off. And there's this little pushy things right here. But to release that, you have to get it from the inside. That thing's sealed. How are you supposed to do that? If any of you guys work at Toyota, please comment down below. Do you guys have a special tool for this? Because how are you supposed to pin this down when you can't even get access to the back of the inner fender? I don't understand. Do you guys break them and just replace them every single time? Let me know. So let me show you what we got going on so far. Bring the over fender back. But if you guys can see, there's the bolt. Pretty sure it's a 10, and then this needs to come out, and the harness is right above that 10mm. So we still need to get that off. That's the main goal. So let me get this 10mm, see if we get some play out of it, and see what's going on. Let's go ahead and take off this 10mm. Alright, 10mm out. It didn't do a difference now that I took that bolt out. I'm going to drill this out and continue going at it. I think we're almost going to get it off. Now we're going to go to a smaller bit. Just a smaller bit. I'm going to scratch my car up. This is terrible. I can't believe I'm doing this. Alright, so we finally got it out, but we did sacrifice the paint. I was drilling it out with that drill, this one, which I don't recommend to do, and it shot and then jumped out and just grinded my fender. This is so brutal. We're gonna have to hit it with touch-up paint, but that's gonna bug me forever. Just for breaking a stupid thing. Just paying, have a shop do it for you. That's ridiculous. I tried spinning it with this. It failed. Then I tried to hammer it with the flathead. They actually sell a socket for that, but where the hell are you gonna buy that? So there's no way I'm gonna be able to finish this video because I only purchased those two parts, and I actually need the little rubber and that actual nut, which sucks. And the girl told me you're gonna need it, and I said no, I could get away with it, and sure enough I need it. I'm so upset. I scratched my car, so we'll get back to it once I get those parts. It's gonna have to wait till Monday. Alright, so I finally got the complete set. Here's that little rubber bushing thing that we needed. Finally have that, and now we have that little nut that we needed to lock it. So in total you need 1, 2, 3, 4 parts in the actual antenna. Alright, so all we have to do is remove this glove box and this part right here, which is like the handle, the A-pillar interior piece. So let's get to it. Get all my stuff out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, this little plastic piece, you push it in, you push this in, and it'll come down a little further, and then okay. So all you really have to do is right here, you're gonna see this little shock that's right here. This little shock, it's gonna be clipped on to this little nipple right here. And you squeeze the nipple and it'll come right off. It'll be on this side though. But that's a little nipple you gotta do. So the next thing we're gonna do is remove this pillar, and I believe screws are gonna be in here. So I'm gonna pop it with my Harbor Freight little clip that I have. Just pull on it. That came off. Easy enough. So it's gonna be a 10mm. I grabbed my snap-on ratcheting flex head that I just bought. Let's take this off. Alright, so I took out the 10mm screws. This is what they're gonna look like, something like that. What I'm gonna do next is just pull it off. Comes right off, and hopefully this panel, the airbag doesn't hit me in the face. This should pop right off. Oh, there's no airbag in this one, and that comes right off. Easy enough. So this clip right here is the antenna. So what we're gonna do is disconnect it. Let me go grab the original. So what you're seeing here, the square, which is that part down. So we're gonna unclip it. This stays here. This goes to the radio. So there's gonna be a little clip right here. So push down on the finger, boom, comes off. Now we gotta pry this off. That was probably a pain in the butt to do. So what I did is I just basically kept axing it with the little flathead until it broke off. And then I pushed the excess down and it went down in the A-pillar. So now it's loose, so I'm gonna feed it down on the bottom. Down. You gotta pull it from over here. Here's a line. You see that blue little tape right there? That's the line we have to pull. Okay. And I just snapped it off of that. Okay, now this is probably the hardest part. Is gonna go into the inner fender on the other side. So what we're gonna do is go outside, tape this end so we can feed it through and get it in with no issue. And this is the fender part. So let's get in the outside. All right, so I removed the fender. Let me go get a light, but this is the actual antenna that I just cut off. It's basically like cut off from like right here. This is what's inside. What we're gonna do is tape this to here so I can fish it through the interior without struggling. All right, so all we're doing right now is taping this piece to the other piece of the antenna. And I think too, as I pulled out that grommet, I'm gonna cut it out so it makes it easier to get it through. This is not that very easy to cut, but let's see. There you go. Okay. Let's pull it out. Dang it. I need something. Oh man, I got silicone all over my hands. Dude, be careful with this on your interior. It's like silicone that gets stuck all over your interior. Actually, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put the screw on the bracket that went somewhere. I think was it here? No, somewhere in there. I gotta find it. It's in there somewhere. All right, so I lined it up. That little bracket right there went up, but when you screw it, make sure you push up while you're doing it. Okay, hold it up and tighten it. Hold it up. Nice and tight. Now we have this part that's protruding out. So it'll play back and forth. And then when you put the other pieces, which we're going to do now, these two suckers. I still haven't found the tool for this. There's a tool on Amazon for removing these kind of bolts. It's really expensive for just this one job. I think it's like 50 bucks. If anybody knows if you could buy a socket somewhere just for this, it would be awesome. This has been a big pain in my butt. Oh, it'll scratch my paint. Okay. So this guy goes first, right over this. Gonna cover some of the damage we made. Now all we have is those two scratches that we did. Then this little nut goes on top. I'm just gonna do hand tight because I don't have the tool. It's on there. It's not going anywhere. We'll get the antenna. So we'll be back in business. And they actually give you a tool to tighten it. Let me go get it. So I don't have the little plastic wrench that came with it when you buy it. I lost it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put some tape. Like that. Right? Close it. And it's gonna be a 8mm. Now it's obviously too big. It'll fit. I don't think it takes that much. There you go. Now I'm gonna take off the little tape. So it's nice and snug on there. Looks like we're back in business, appearance-wise. We still have to tighten up here and then do the wires in there. So hopefully you guys can see the grommet there. It's nice and tight. No water's gonna get in there. Tighten the bolt to 10 millimeter. We're solid, so we can put this panel back together. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is remove the tape that I put to fish it through. All right, so here's a new one. So what we're gonna do is feed it through the side again. Here it comes. The fishing part is probably the easiest part. It's not that hard. I thought that was gonna be the hardest part. Solid. Put this clip back there. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up the video. I hope it was very helpful. I really appreciate if you guys can smash the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below and I'll try my best to answer you guys as soon as possible. Real quick, the hardest part of the whole deal is taking the inner fender out because the clips, you're gonna break them. But don't worry, as long as you get 2 of those self-tapping screws that come on the car, you're fine. You're not gonna have any issues. Just make sure that you tape it and fish it through. Don't pull that antenna out. And try to find that socket because I damaged my fender and I scratched it. It was very, very terrible. But this pretty much wraps it up. I love you guys and I'll catch you on the next one.
My name is Ozzy Perez and I drive a 2005 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8 known as Project MJ.